Is that why you wore the wicked top, Kristin?
Maybe. There were thoughts behind it.
I'm a janitor?
I'm sorry, Mr. Linus.
Kristin told me you people were doing experiments changing the world. Come on.
Wow. Roger Workman.
Roger Workman.
I want another 30 grand. Calm down, man.
Oh yay, another great parent.
I can appreciate that John Locke is helping us see what's going on. So
This is what I've been saying for 3 seasons, Jake. Thank you.
So that's Richard with a really bad wig.
No, he should be a lot older though, right?
Yeah, he should be.
Help me. That was Jacob.
Okay.
Well, I certainly hope he helps you, John.
Jeez. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Michael, Kevin, Kristin, and I are back for Lost Season 3, Episode 20, The Man Behind the Curtain. And yeah, a very revealing episode, and Kevin is the happiest he has ever been, so...
I'm torn because I kind of like already want to... I kind of already want to just like announce Ben as my favorite character of the episode for shooting John Locke.
I said to be nice. That is the exact opposite of being nice.
I said it with a smile.
That's worse. That's even worse. What do you mean?
But yeah, I mean, this is all in good fun. This is all just jokes.
At poor Michael's expense.
Yes, poor Locke has been shot. It's a disaster. But this is, I was saying before we started, this is maybe the most like information heavy, dense episode of the show. Yeah. I'd say like strap in for a long one, I think, because there is so much. Literally every scene, there's something being dropped. This is a lore heavy episode. Obviously, flashback to Dharma time, which is huge. There's so much.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying too. That there's a lot of clues, right? Like we see his dad get the Roger Workman uniform, and you're like, I know that. And then like we see them getting in the van with the beer, and you're like, wait, I know that van. It's a lot of that. Like, wait, I know how these pieces are coming together, and then it leaves you with more questions too. But like
I'd say like a good amount of answers, but then 100 more questions.
Yes.
As always.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into this one. Just before we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that. And let us know your thoughts on all the big reveals. So
Spoiler free.
Spoiler free. If we're going to do a spoiler, find one of the other 3 of us or Greg and private message us.
Yes. Yep.
Well, I have a ton of fun facts, and I'm going to be interested to see if Michael ends up having a different fun fact. Actually, Michael, why don't you go first? Because I don't want to you don't like ever get to do fun fact reveals. So like, you go first.
It's my time. I'd be surprised if you had this one because my love of Michael Emerson is so deep. You have to go really deep into the rabbit hole, pardon the pun, to get this one. So Michael Emerson said in an interview that the scene where he kills his dad, where he gets the gas canister and releases the gas, those are not Michael Emerson's hands. He had no idea that was going to happen. That was put in post to, make Ben specifically be responsible for being the one that killed his dad. When you see him in that scene looking at his watch, and obviously that gas canister isn't enough to wipe out all of Dharma. It was like a simultaneous attack. So he was checking his watch because he knew when the gas was going to be released, and then he was going to put his thing on. And then they added a whole other scene where he gets the gas canister out and like throws it in the van. And it's like, it's just an added level of crazy. And also, like, if that's the case, why didn't his dad do something? Like, get out the car.
Because he was drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. But in reality,
drunk driving on the island is apparently not a crime.
It wasn't from the canister. That was an added extra at the last minute.
Wow.
I mean, I did not know that, but also drunk driving on the island is a crime because that's why we don't have Anna Lucia and Libby.
True.
That's on the island, like the big island of Hawaii. That is not on the mystery island where our losties live.
I did not have that fun fact, but I have quite a few about Ben and Michael Emerson, so I was like waiting for it. And I also have one about Jack Bender, so I was kind of wondering if those would be yours. So I'm going to start out with Jack Bender, obviously executive producer of Lost. The dog painting on the wall of the cabin is his dog.
Cute.
His dog Lulu. Also, Ben's mom is played by Michael Emerson's wife.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's what I thought you were going to give me, Michael.
I knew you'd have that one.
Also, I can't wait to do this because Kevin is going to hate both of these moments. Ben and Locke, their moms were named Emily.
Yes.
And Ben and Locke had their dads killed to join the others / hostiles. So they're so similar.
Wow.
Save Martha.
Why did you say that name?
My mother's name is also Martha.
Also, we had the numbers in there. They were on the canisters, the same canisters we'd seen before, so no need to bring that one up again. On the TV knobs, when they're like getting to the island and they're showing the same orientation film, there's 4 knobs on the TV. And then obviously Ben looked at his watch for 4 p.m. And then I have to talk about this continuity error because it drives me nuts every single time. Literally, the lantern falls on the ground and shatters, causing a fire, yet Ben comes out with a perfectly normal lantern that he hangs back up. What?
He had a spare one.
Where did you see a spare? What?
Jacob probably has one in the cabin.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It drives me nuts every single time.
I mean, the island magically heals people. Maybe it magically heals lanterns.
Sure. Yeah. Also, like, Locke runs out and Ben follows, like, pretty immediate, no fire. Like, I think it would take a minute to put the fire out. I mean, just all the things.
No. The fire puts itself out. Because that's why Locke is like, what the fuck is going on here? The fire starts and then it immediately extinguishes itself. And Locke is like, huh?
I thought it was still going when Locke left.
No.
Okay, I have to go back and watch because I definitely remember it still
I thought it was still going, but like contained. Yeah. Like it wasn't.
Now I'm going to have to go back and watch that because out of all the times I've ever seen it, I'm pretty confident that Locke is leaving with the fire still going.
Nope. Trust the obsessive idiot.
Okay.
I mean, I do, and I also use those descriptors, but
I have to leave us with 2 questions though that have never been answered for me. So if you guys know them, I'd be happy to know. I'm going to learn them with Jake because I literally have 0 idea, and it's been years, and it drives me nuts every time this episode comes up. What the hell was the shaking? Wasn't an earthquake because it didn't last very long. So it was like almost like a giant like truck was pulling in. It shook like the house. Drives me nuts because it's like they don't talk about it. And where the fuck is Annie? She like carves a beautiful thing and she's like, bye. Like never seen for her again. Okay.
I can answer the Annie question, but I can't answer it here with Jake.
Okay, well, spoiler section it is.
Make a note. Spoiler section.
The earthquake. Do you mean during the classroom?
Yes.
I can answer that too, but I can't answer it here.
Okay.
Oh
good.
my.
Okay, Jake, can check out the spoiler section to learn the answers to those questions because I have 0 idea.
No cheating and checking the spoiler section, Jake.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
I avoid checking it, so you're good.
But let's get into the episode, shall we? The episode starts with a like totally traumatic birth in the freaking woods. Like, this is great.
I was so confused when this started with that. I'm like, what is going on?
I mean, it is kind of one where like up until like they run out with the traffic that you're like, okay, we know that there's like issues with babies on the island. That again, it kind of like, is this like an on-island thing situation? But like we have 0 idea what's going to happen when all that comes down. But yes, very traumatic birth scene. Baby is born, and then my only guess that I can possibly come up with is that she probably had like a placental abruption where it tears away, which is like deadly. Like you bleed to death and hemorrhage. Very tragic. So they don't ever explain how she, like what happened to her. Obviously, there's blood, and he takes off running. She's holding on to the baby, but that would be my best guess as a woman of what happened to Ben's mom, very sadly and tragically. But they do run out of the woods, not the jungle that we thought it was. And with the sign of Portland, apparently they were not in Portland either.
Portland.
But they are on the side of the road. This car pulls up with a man and a wife, and they get out and they're trying to help her. She's in a lot of pain. They set her down on the ground. She says, "Name him Benjamin." Like, what? We're getting a Ben story. It's great. And then she promptly dies. So poor Ben, tragic from day one. Literally minute one.
This episode as well, again, shout out to Michael Giacchino. Like, I think Ben's theme is maybe my favorite theme of anyone on the show. Like, it's close with Locke. Like, they're both so iconic. Like, Ben's theme is so tragic. It's like haunting. Like, I don't know if we've heard it before now. This is the first time you really hear it a lot, because obviously it's a Ben episode, but it really stands out to me. It's such a tragic, haunting theme. I love it so much.
Yeah, this is, I mean, we know that, like, but also this is where we find out right off the bat that Ben has been lying. He said he was born on the island, and clearly it said Portland 32 miles. So we're definitely
the surprise of nobody. Was anyone surprised that Ben was lying?
No, but like, it's confirmation now. Confirmation.
Yeah.
The supervillain origin story.
Right.
Right. Is this a thing where he like justifies it by saying like he was reborn on the island? Because like his birthday is when we see the thing at the end of the episode, right? Like that is his birthday. So like, is that his thing of like he was reborn on the island?
Like he found himself on the island, like people do in Thailand.
Sure. Like, I'm sure that's
he does pretty directly say he was born here and no one else is.
Right.
But like in my mind, that's always like, is that what he means? Does he mean like he was reborn here?
I'm trying to give the man an excuse for being a liar for his.
I mean, he's clearly a liar.
Clearly a liar. But we do go to present day in the camp, where Richard walks in and Ben is holding this little like wooden figurine that we'll find out later. And he is like, "It's my birthday. Do you remember birthdays, don't you?" Like, that's a huge thing for him. Well, go ahead, Michael. I didn't mean to.
Can we point out that like that's the thing you don't only catch on a rewatch, Jake? Ben sarcastically says to Richard, like, "You do remember birthdays, don't you? Like Mr. Not aging over here."
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. But Richard's like, "Oh yeah, whoops, happy birthday." But where's the recorder? I'm here to take it to Juliet. And Ben's like, "I'm sorry, what? What did you say? I recorded that yesterday. I thought you already took it." And he's like, "No, I'm coming for it now." And he's like, "Well, obviously somebody's had to take it. It's not here," which we know that Locke took it and gave it over, and which is going to cause a whole bunch of problems over on our camp. But as he walks out to ask Tom, because Tom Friendly, he's not like, where has he been? What is he doing? Apparently staring off into the distance, because lo and behold, Locke's showing back up with dead daddy on his back. And all of their faces are like, okay. And Ben is like, shit. I didn't really expect him to do it. Like, he did not expect to see Locke here, not realizing that Locke had found a little loopy hole. Little loop-de-loop. But he has a message for Ben. You're going to tell me about the island. You said that anything I wanted to know about the island, I would know. And why don't you start right at the very beginning? And Ben's like, crap. Abort mission.
The look on Ben's face is amazing.
He
thought, I got the John Locke problem dealt with. He's gone. He's no longer a problem. And he strolls right back into camp. He looks so upset.
He's so not happy. But with that, Locke is going to cause some major problems for Ben, because Ben's going to give him a lot more death looks later on here in about 2 seconds. But we do see that Locke and Ben are now in Ben's tent. He's pouring some great Dharma whiskey. I guess it's not McCutcheon's, but whatever. There it is. It's what they have to work with. And he's like, I could tell you, but it's like, it's not simple. And Locke is so over this. He's like, quit giving me the runaround. Like, let's get to the answers. And he's like, well, you might think that I'm the leader, but I'm not. And he's like, oh my God, this guy, like, literally quit walking in circles. I'm sick of it. Give me the answers. And he's like, who's the leader then? And he's like, it's Jacob. Now, we've heard this name a couple of times. So, like, Jake, I want to come to you. Like, what is your thoughts around this Jacob person? Because obviously we're going to get into more so of Jacob later on when we get to the cabin. But like when you're hearing this Jacob person brought up now a couple times, where is your reaction in your head going to?
I mean, I definitely thought it was some sort of like God and like something they've been worshiping. And then when we get to that reveal later in the episode, I definitely was just shocked that that's what it was. Or at least what we're seeing that it is at the moment, because obviously I'm assuming maybe more gets revealed later, but I definitely wasn't thinking that it was that. I thought there was going to definitely be more to it.
Yeah, for sure. I remember, I mean, just watching for the first time, like, they keep bringing this guy up. Like, it's like all in passing, but like, obviously there's something to this guy. Are we going to get it this episode or not? And we do, but like, I kind of, at this point, it's now lost on me, right? Because it's like, you keep saying this stupid name, I don't care anymore, because we're not getting anywhere, but lo and behold, later in the episode, we do, which is good.
Don't say Jacob's a stupid name when we have an actual Jacob on the podcast.
I meant in this, like, because they keep bringing it up with no context. It's just like a random, like, throw out Jacob, and it's like, then they don't do anything with it after that. It's like annoying. I know I'm not the only one that feels that way when they were watching this before we get to the reveal of it.
No, I think that I thought, this is a 20-year-old memory. I think I thought like Jake was just a real person who was like, because Ben's a dick. So like it had to be a bigger dick than Ben. And then moving ahead, when they first went to the cabin, I was like, oh, Ben just made him up. There is no Jacob. That was my like thought.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking back to what I was thinking in 2007, is that where we're at?
Yeah.
Around there, yeah.
I love every episode, Kevin trying to remember what year we're in.
What year we're in? What year is it?
Yeah, that's 18 years ago, 19. Yeah, listen, it's been a long time since then.
Yeah,
I was in college back then.
This to me felt like before we obviously get there, I was just like, here we go again, like this random name drop, and like we're not gonna get anything with it. Like that's like where I was like, I'm so over this right now. But Ben has some more information about Jacob. I'm the only one that talks to Jacob. I'm awesome. It's me. I'm the only one that's been born on this island. No one else can say that, which we know from our beginning that he's a liar about this. It's confirmed. And Locke is, again, he's completely over it. And he says, with the reference to my shirt today, he is the man behind the curtain. There is no Wizard of Oz. You are the man behind the curtain. This is absolute like bullshit, and I'm over it. I'm out. I'm just done with you. I'm leaving the tent. But that leads us into our next flashback of now Ben is like 12-ish. I think they say he's 12. But they arrived to the island like via submarine. All of them seem very spiffy. They apparently didn't have to drink the drink that Juliet did. they all woke up like just totally fine.
Back then it was a smoother journey than when Juliet came.
But yeah, so they all show up via submarine on the island, and we now see that Ben's dad has not been doing so great for these last 12 years. We've got zero job. He had to reach out to this random dude that he met when his wife was dying on the side of the road. Apparently they've kept in touch enough for him to be like, hey, I need a favor because I suck as a dad and I need a job. And we learned that this is Horace, and he's like, hey, no problem. I'm glad we can help. Ben, how's it going? This interaction between him and Ben always is very cringe to me. Like, I don't like this at all. Like,
I love it.
I know that it's like he knows that Ben needs a love because like dad is checked out. I get that, but he always gives me the creeps when he's talking to Ben.
Yeah,
nuts.
I felt that too.
I think maybe that's because there's a lot of stuff with the actor when he got married to a 16-year-old girl, but that's a whole different story.
I didn't know that.
When he was 54 years old, yes.
Yeah.
So I think anytime Horace is on screen, it's a bit problematic. But putting that aside,
he was 54 and she was 16.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah.
So maybe that vibe is coming through in the performance.
Stems a little bit from that.
I didn't know that.
Not
I
ideal.
felt uncomfortable with
because it's supposed to be like he's like your dad's a piece of shit. Let me show you some love. But it doesn't come across that way ever.
Yeah.
putting aside that, if I can, like in that moment, I actually really like the fact that also it's a cool thing of Ben, where he says like he's not a talkative kid, and the Ben we know is very articulate, very well spoken, very smart, and like seeing the change. I love this flashback to see the change in Ben, and like when he says, "I'm sure you'll speak when you've got something to say," and this whole episode is about Ben, like. He does find his voice. He does, and it maybe not the best voice, but he definitely changes by the end of this episode.
I was gonna say, like, he definitely has something to say now.
See, I also take that in a very different way because I hear Horace going, "Oh, great! I can do some not great things to a child, and he won't talk because he's like mute." Again, creepy. I don't like the entire interaction. It is giving gross to me.
You picked up on the actor's vibes through the performance.
I guess I knew that he was a piece of like not great, like from the get-go. Fine. It's totally fine. But with that, they are now on the island and they're going to get his job. They're going through the processing of all that. And this is where we find out that Ben's dad, Roger, gets his assignment and he is not happy about it because he is, drumroll, the Workman. The Workman. The Roger Workman that like everybody was like having a good time with in the van situation with Hurley, and Sawyer's like having drinks with him and cheers him off of his head and all
I was gonna say, had so much fun he lost his head.
He lost his head. Heads will roll. But yeah, so he's not happy about it. We meet Annie. She shows up. She can tell that Ben's a little nervous. Hey, here's an Apollo bar. Way to throw that back in there. It was great. But she's like, it's going to be fine. Like, you're going to have so much fun. And he's like, let's go, Ben. Like, I'm over this already. It's like, again, this is where we could already see that we have another disgusting parent. I love that they just automatically give it to us. Again, your parents obviously have a horrible spot in your life because you never make a great parent other than Jen's dad. It's so sad. Jumping back to the island, we get Sawyer. He is now back from his situation with Locke. He is hiding out, looking for who he needs to talk to, and he finds them. Lo and behold, it is Saeed. He's got to talk to Saeed. We've got a problem. Saeed is like, I need to go find Locke. He's like, no, you don't. Don't worry about him. He's back with them. It's not like, don't ask me where. I don't care. I need you to shut up and listen. We got a problem. Here's this video or this cassette tape. With that, the other side, we've got Mikhail running back into camp. Ben, we have to talk. It's serious. They have a woman with them. She parachuted onto the island. She's got a ship. Ben's like, the amount of things that are like shocking to Ben in this, he can't handle this. This is supposed to be his birthday. He's supposed to be like relaxing poolside with a drink in his hand. And he's got problem after problem after problem today.
Now, we would say that, but should Ben expect that? Has that ever happened on his birthday that we've seen?
No. But still.
I also like that they do give us an explanation as to why Mikhail is still alive. And it's a pretty flimsy one, but it's the one we have of, I'm fortunate the pylons were not set to at least a level.
They tried.
That's why he's alive.
I'm not sure that that's exactly accurate because of the fact his eardrums just literally exploded, but whatever.
That's fine.
To save you about too much, that is why he's still alive. Like, there's no higher meaning. It's just the pylons weren't feeling very killy that day, I guess.
They weren't feeling very killy.
We'll do it tomorrow. We'll work tomorrow. But he's like, we've got to, like, what are we going to do about this? He's like, well, we're going to the beach, like, in a couple days. It'll be fine. He's like, we have to go today. And lo and behold, Locke has a message. They're not going anywhere today because Ben is taking me, of all people who just showed up, to see Jacob. And everyone's faces in this moment. And Ben is like, this man is testing me. This man is testing me today.
Ben's face.
Ben already has like the biggest eyes, but like in that moment, his eyes uptake. He's like an anime character. They take up half of his face.
I laughed as I hope Jake left it in the reactions portion. I laughed out loud. Like, his face is like, what did you just say? It's so funny to me.
I also love in this moment that he is now like completely shocked ever because I mean we've seen like everybody like Richard standing up, they're all like, wait, what is happening here? And then Ben's like, this idiot, no, you know what, John, I gotta deal with some things, you know, like because we gotta deal with Mikhail. He just like ran into camp, and Locke's like, I'll fix that. Beats Mikhail to a pulp. We're going. Like, we don't need to deal with this right now. He's knocked out for a good couple hours.
And can we also mention, because this is a very important point, when John beats the shit out of Mikhail, Ben turns and says, Tom, Richard, and tries to get back up. And neither one of them listen to him. They both completely ignore Ben and stay sitting where they're at and let Locke do his thing.
Wow.
They do not listen to Ben's instructions here.
I mean, would you really get involved in Crazy Town Locke right now? I would not.
He's the leader. This is a build-up. Like, we are seeing it a lot. There is massive dissension. They are not listening to Ben. They're listening to Locke.
We also see that as they're getting ready to head out on this now excursion that Ben has zero other excuses for. He just has to go at this point. Alex shows up and she's like, hey, Locke, how's it going? Where have you been, Alex? We've been wondering. But she's like, I heard you're going to see Jacob. Here's a gun. Okay, bye. Oh, happy birthday, Dad. Like, the most awkward, why do I need a gun? Thank you. But, it's your birthday. Maybe we could have taken this trip on another day.
At least she remembered.
She did. She was the only person.
More than Roger Workman can say.
Yes. But, like, her happy birthday is not like, happy birthday, Dad. She's like, happy birthday.
Do they have the best relationship?
No. But I just love that it's like a hateful happy birthday. It's like not even like distension. It's just like, happy birthday, Dad. Like, it's so, like,
it's very teenage daughter who is mad at her parent. Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
It's an extreme mad to give a gun to, like, his enemy. That is like, I don't mind if you get shot coming out of this. I want Locke to be safe.
Yeah, for sure. But moving on into our next flashback, this is where we get the school lesson that has like a random Shaky thing that Michael's going to tell me in a little bit, so hang on to your horses. But we get a random shaking moment. We've got alarms going off. Ben like just got here and he's like, what is happening? I thought this was like a nice little peaceful island. I don't know what to do. He is like scared in his tracks, will not move. The teacher's like, Ben, sweetie, I'm going to need you to move.
One thing they did say, again, there's so many little lore drops in this episode. Annie asks the teacher, is that what happened to the volcano on this island? And she says, no, that's been inactive for a while now. So maybe there's a volcano on the island.
Maybe.
I'm still laughing at the whole teacher talk of like, Ben, sweetie, I'm going to need you to...
Listen, as a teacher, this is a triggering moment because we do drills all the time and there's always some, like a fire drill, there's always some kid who didn't have their shoes on for some reason. You're like, we need to go.
Mm-hmm. No shoes for you.
Tie them later. We don't have time for this. So yes, that is very stressful. It's also very like, the unfortunate reality is like what you're seeing here is pretty accurate because if there's hostiles with guns coming into their encampment here, their barracks, what is hiding on the other side of the room behind the desk going to do? Nothing. And it's like, oh yeah, accurate in the real world too.
Luckily, I live in England, so it's not a problem for me. But yeah, I sympathize.
But I also love that she's like, Annie, lock the back door. Like, there's not a bunch of windows. That they can...
I love that is a kid's job.
Right.
Which fair because the teacher had to get a gun, so like don't leave that as the kid's job. But yeah, like
also
Annie, sweetie, go lock the door.
There's also continuity in Erin here as well that she tells like Olivia and Sean to like go do something. There's nowhere, they don't do anything. They're like already sitting on the floor. They don't do anything. So good times. We love a good kid moment. But yeah, so there's this massive shootout. We hear screaming, we hear gunfighting, like all the things are happening. And lo and behold, we have Ben at home now, and we've got Roger Workman, because that is who he will be for the rest of his life, is yelling at Horace, and he's like, I didn't sign up for this. First of all, you brought me to this island. Now, then you made me the janitor, and now you got me out there like doing gunfire against like people that I didn't even know we had like issues with. And he's like, bro, you couldn't get a job. Like, you're welcome. Shut up and do whatever we tell you to do. And he also brings up a point here where he's like, you have to think about Ben. Like, you have to think about your kid. You're a single parent. And he's like, I don't give a shit about that kid. Wow. All right. And like, when we think that that's probably the worst that he's going to say about poor Ben, that's not even close to what we're going to get later. But Ben is in his room and turns around, and Mom's in the window. Creepy. I'll never forget watching this episode for the very first time. I literally jumped out of my chair.
Jump scare.
That is not okay. I will say that is one of my biggest fears, like, ever. I have a very irrational fear. That's why my windows are always covered. I never want to like, walk by a window and somebody's staring out. Like, it is a serious like fear of mine. Like, I can't do it.
Listen, if you want to look in my windows, enjoy the show.
No, that's fine. Look in my window, but I need a heads up that you're going to be looking. I don't need to walk, and then there's a person there. That is terrifying to me. So that was a major jump scare for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. We have seen dead people pop up, but yeah, Ben's mom is just there as well now.
She's just chilling. She's like,
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah, I was freaked out. I was like, oh my God, the poor Ben has to watch his dad drunkenly argue with the guy that is running this operation, this island, and then all of a sudden, tries to go back into his room and then just sees someone staring in there. Like, it's freaky.
Yeah.
I also think it's so sad that, like, obviously Ben doesn't have any memory of his mother. Like, the fact that he has the picture, like, makes the connection. It's so sad. Like, the actor, I think I mentioned it when we were watching, but like the actor that plays young Ben is like so good. Like, I totally believe that kid grows up to be our Ben. He's like, it's such a good performance and like such good casting.
Yeah. With that, we do go back to our beach where Saeed and Sawyer are searching for Juliet. Lo and behold, she is not there. Kate comes up and she's like, what are you guys doing? They're like, we're looking for Juliet. She's like, she is not here. And they're like, why is she not here? She went off with Jack, like right after I told them that you guys were like planning all these things and we have a lady hidden in the tent. And they're like, Kate, what the hell? Like, why? And
is Kate the worst secret keeper?
I mean, even Hurley kept
Or is Hurley the worst secret keeper? Which one of them is
Hurley kept the secret.
Right. But like in general, which one of them is the worst secret keeper?
I don't know.
I think in terms of like important secrets, like if they're right about Jack, and we're probably going to get into an argument here soon, Kevin, but I totally understand their rationale. Like, Kate doing that could have been so dangerous.
Oh, no.
Dangerous.
They that absolutely makes sense to not tell Jack at that point. Like,
yeah,
from their perspective. I don't know.
we know you love Jack. It's fine.
We're gonna see in a minute. He's a good guy. Leave him alone.
Well, I mean,
we're gonna get into it.
No, we didn't really get much. He just says we have a lot of catching up to do. So, like, yeah, let's catch up, and then we get nothing. So, thank you, Lost.
But like, we know that he knows. Like,
let's save it because I'm gonna hard disagree with you.
Anyway, but yeah, so Saeed's like, well, thanks, Kate, for being a dumb bitch and telling our secret. I have to go fix the situation, and she's like, what's the issue? I don't understand. And he's like, play her the tape. She's like, what tape? Well, it's not your mixtape that Sawyer did make for you, but it's a very interesting one. Let me play it for you. Meanwhile, we have Ben telling him, like, you don't get this, Locke. we don't go to Jacob. Okay, we don't go to this man. He is a man that summoned you. So he's gonna be like really, really, really mad. He's still trying to get out of this. He's mid-hike there. He's like, let's not do this. And he's like, well, I guess he's gonna like learn to love it today because we're on the way. Like Locke is one track mind, one mission. It's happening.
I mean, very Locke. This is very Locke.
Yeah. I love confident Locke. This line, like you say, is I guess there's a first time for everything. It's very reminiscent to me of when Ben goes into his whole spiel about the magic box, and Locke's just like, I hope that box is big enough to imagine yourself up a new submarine. Like, Locke does not give a shit. Like, we're doing this. I'm not taking any bullshit from you, Ben. We are going. You promised me answers if I killed my dad. Technically, I didn't kill my dad, but he's dead, and we're getting the
He
answer.
got his dad killed.
Stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just love that he is like literally tunnel visioned on like, I don't care what else is happening around us today. We're doing one thing and one thing only, and we're going to Jacob. Like, it's happening. But meanwhile, on their trek out to Jacob, we get another flashback with Annie, who again, apparently I'm going to get the answers to later on. So like, again, hang tight, guys. Cause like sweet Annie, this moment is like, good Lord. Like, just like, oh my God, moment of her making a boy and a girl wooden, like, because they don't have toys apparently. Like, they decided to do everything else on this island but bring toys.
They can build, like, whatever those pylons are that, like, can be lethal or could not be lethal.
Right, they choose to be lethal.
But they can't bring in some dolls for the kids who are there. Like, come on.
Right, no, but Annie has carved these dolls, and she says, yeah, they're you and me. That way we never have to be away from one another. Oh my God, dagger to the heart. Sweet Annie, which is why I need to know these answers. I can't wait to get to the spoiler section. I'm trying to rush through this. Over there.
I don't know what happens to Annie, but I know she's not in the current timeline, so I know that much.
Yeah, we have an idea that happened to her.
Just in terms of you have to kind of separate current Ben from kid Ben, like, because this kid's done nothing wrong, and like seeing how timid he is and there's such little things that the actor does, like jumping ahead slightly, but it might not come up, but like how timidly he like takes the can out of his dad's hand, and he like tries to help him off with his shoes, and you can see he's so like nervous and having this good connection with this kid of his own age. Like, I don't think he's ever had that before. And it's just so sweet. And the fact that even though Ben is a liar and manipulative and awful at times, the fact that adult Ben still has this, like, I don't know why, it just punches me in the chest. Like, whatever he grew up to be, he still has that. It's like this connection to this kid Ben, this good Ben. Like, I don't know. I love it so much.
The other thing about this too, that like I think, and like again, because I'm like really obsessed with this, it's bugged me for years and years now. Is this this is a kid. For a kid to pick up on exactly what another kid needs, like, it's hard for adults to even pick up on everybody, like, just by being around them and knowing how much this would mean to him. And like, good job, Annie. Like, good job, Annie. That was like, whoever raised you, like, kudos to those parents, because you were on it, girl, on it. But with that, sorry, I almost choked. We get Ben that comes home. This is where he starts to take care of his dad, because his dad is passed out drunk. I love that, again, like, poor Ben, his birthday, like, it's so sad. Michael, talk about Ben some more.
So I will mention this because I do think it's an important point. It comes up several times as we're getting into this scene that Ben's dad, Roger Workman, keeps forgetting about Ben's birthday. Roger Workman does not forget that it's Ben's birthday.
There's no way.
Not once. He is drinking because this is the day his wife died. He doesn't forget that it's his birthday. He doesn't give a shit that it's his birthday.
Right.
And that is so much worse.
Well, and he literally tells him, like, you're the reason my wife is dead.
Right. You're the reason my wife died. My wife, who I'm drinking because she's dead. And how did you kill her? By being born. Like, this is like, you can't unattach the two things.
Right.
So like,
it's kind of hard to celebrate on the day you killed your mom. Happy birthday, Ben. What a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right. I can't even. I can't even consider Locke for worst character of the episode. I mean, I wouldn't, because this is, as I said, this isn't his worst episode. This is one of his better episodes. But like, how could you, like, that's just such a terrible thing to say to a child.
Yeah.
The day you killed your mom. Like, what?
You could say heinous behavior. Let's put it out.
Yes. Very heinous.
Well, thank you all for definitely covering that section why I almost died. That was great. But yes, there's all of those things did happen. And yes, I agree with all of you that he is the most despicable, disgusting filth for doing that to a child. And like, it's even more so that he like says all that without even like any remorse. He has zero remorse for that moment there.
Oh yeah. No, this is his like unfiltered opinions. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. But Ben, of course,
not to like remotely justify anything, but I do like that Lost is a complex show with complex characters, and like I do think it's believable that this guy's clearly an alcoholic and losing his wife, he lost himself, and this has been who he is since his wife died, and like he is just not in that mind space. He's not meant to be a dad. He's not meant to be a single dad. He clearly is like terrible with Ben, but like I do think it's a believable thing that someone going through that grief could become incredibly cold and detached and just not give a shit anymore. It's tragic and it's horrible and it's awful the things he says, but I understand it. At least I think it's believable, as sad as it is.
Yeah, it is very sad. It is very like, I mean, that is also like a thing that we should know. Is that, like, I put like, and I even said it when we were watching, I was like, worst parent ever, ? Because there is a moment here, there is no justifying this whatsoever, but we have parents that are just horrible for being horrible, like for zero reason other than they are just horrible people. Like this, he was not always this way, or didn't appear that way for the 4 seconds that we had before this happened, but he seemed like a very decent person, not hateful, not an alcoholic before his wife died. So like it was that traumatic event that, like, I mean, you choose that path, and he chose the wrong path. Very badly chose that. Yeah. But Ben does run away for total reason. I understand. I would leave after that too. And he runs out and he gets to the pylons. I mean, apparently they were at lethal level because Mommy shows up and is like, no, not the time. This is not the time to leave. And so poor Ben, he's like so like upset. He's tripping over his own feet, like going back. Like he's just like a hot mess at this point. But Mom does say it's not the time to come with me, which is like interesting. Okay, when is the right time? Which we're gonna find out later. But coming to present day, we have Ben and Locke have arrived to a gunpowder circle. What is this? So Jake, what are your thoughts on this gunpowder circle?
Yeah, so this is the cabin, correct? Or this is right before that?
The perimeter.
Oh,
yeah, the cabin is inside the circle, but like for some reason there's a circle of gunpowder that they have to cross over.
Yeah. It was interesting just for them to get there, and obviously not the location I expected Jacob to be in. I totally expected something else. But it's like I guess it's almost like when now you guys mention it, like it almost makes me think of like a prayer circle, like something that you would like step into to be in this like holy place. I feel like that's kind of what it reminds me of. So that may have been like intentional design there. But just totally not what I expected. And then we'll get to that reveal in a second. But
yeah, what this like stuff was a huge discussion point. Like I honestly, I've said it before, but I think there's more questions coming out of this episode. We've mentioned that we got to the discussion of an end date, recently here. Like this episode to me really does propel us into the rest of this show. There's so many questions that come out of this episode, and why the hell is that? Because they focus on it long enough for you to know that like there is a reason that this is here. What is it and why? Like I obsessed for months. The amount of social engagements I missed because I was looking at a circle around a cabin. So do you know how many? None. I didn't have any friends.
cannot say the same. I was just like, wow, that's weird. And then I moved on with my day.
So I was in the middle of both of you. I was like, this reminds me of the circle of salt from Hocus Pocus. Like, it like instantly was like, is this a protection thing? Question mark. And then I never thought
That's
about it.
That's where I was.
Right. I mean, similar. I was like, I wonder if it's a protection thing, like a witch's spell. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on.
I was like,
We'll
where's
see.
Winifred? Where's Winifred Sanderson? But they leave us at them crossing over this circle of whatever, and we go back to our camp with our people. And they have got lots and lots of questions. They're like, why are we not trusting Jack? Where the hell did this lady come from? They all think that we're dead. What is going on? I also love that Saeed is like, them thinking we're dead's not a problem right now. And they're like, what? Yeah, it's kind of a big problem, Saeed. What do you mean? And he's like, well, we got bigger fish to fry right now, but we'll deal with that later. And I mean, they're like, we have Sun, like, we love Sun. Like, voice of reason Sun comes over the intercom and she's like, guys, I think that you guys need to be like a little bit easier on Jack. He is like, we love Jack. He's Jack. Like, he is our Jack. What's the problem here? And I think that Juliet is a decent person because we know that she took her to this medical station and did this nice thing for her. And
which everyone else is about to find out.
Everybody else is about to find out because Sawyer's like, would that have anything to do with you, like, taking a little trippy trip with her? And she's like,
and she's like, what?
How do you know that? Also, I love that they, a couple times, they show, because they're like, he's like, Mrs. Kwan, and they go to, like, Jin, because he's like, that's my name. What are they talking about? Like, again, we know that
I don't know many English words, but I know that one.
I do know my last name, but like, again, we know that like Jin is trying. He is picking up on little bits and pieces of English here, but like, he's still, again, we've made this like joke of it, is he's just a lot of the time along for the ride, like just signing up for random stuff, but he definitely knows his last name. Yes, Kevin.
Have we discussed before that in actual Korean she would not have changed her name to his last name?
We have made lots of things, but no, that one we have not discussed.
I have not researched this deeply, but that is a thing that I have seen at some point over the years and just was like, interesting writing fail. But yeah, so in Korea, she would have kept her last name.
Well, she probably just wanted to piss her dad off more and get rid of that last name.
Also that.
I'll be the first Korean woman to do it. It's fine.
There's
so
that.
If I'm wrong about that, that's just a thing that I read on the internet. It could be wrong, but that is a thing that I read on the internet at one point.
I was gonna say, because like Sawyer or like whoever else, they're like Americans, so they would think like, okay, the American tradition is when you get married, you lose your that name and you go with who your spouse is.
It also allows for writing to be more ambiguous sometimes, because sometimes you say Kwan and we think you mean one, but you actually mean the other. So from a writing perspective, it makes sense. But yeah, that was just the thing that I thought of just now. Like he heard his name, and if this was actual like Korean rules, it would have been just his name.
Right.
Yeah.
Good for Korea for not conforming to the patriarchy.
Right. Yay for you. But Sawyer does play the tape, and then we find out that Juliet is like, hey, yep, Kwan pregnant, not sure about Austin, all the things, and now everybody's like, oh, well, shit. Well, we got a problem, because Jack has spent a week with them. He's been standing up for Juliet. Is he now in on this? And lo and behold, Jack appears at the perfect time, and he's like, where'd you get that tape?
Jack and Juliet are just like, whoop, hey, we haven't been standing in the background spying on you guys to pop up at the perfect moment, but like...
Right. But I do love, he's like, where'd you get the tape? And they're like, I don't think you are in any position to be questioning us right now, Jack. Like, absolutely not. But I do love that, like, this is another reason why I love Juliet so much. Like, we've seen her when she goes and gets the medical case for Claire and things, which we all know that was, like, planned too. But, like, she handles her own. She does not need Jack to, like, come to her defense. She's like, turn the tape over. And he's like, excuse me. She's like, fine, come at me, burn me at the stake. That's fine, but turn the tape over first, because you're gonna hear my side of it first. Like, she does not care. She is definitely always going to handle her own, and that's another reason why I really love Juliet. But they flip the tape over, and it's Ben saying, okay, mark the tents of the people that you think are pregnant. We're gonna come get them. And Jack says, or Juliet does say that I told Jack that when I took you, son, told him what he was making me do. And they're like, why are we just not hearing about this? And Jack says, I didn't decide what to do about it yet. And they're like, yet? And he's like, it's time we have a little catch up. We need to.
I mean, this is classic Jack of having bad communication, bad bedside. Like, we know this. And like, he does this a lot where he has like an idea and he doesn't tell people. I will once again remind you all as a Jack fan, Jack did not ask to be the leader. He is not intentionally leading everyone. They all picked him as the leader. And so he's like, all right, fine. But like, he doesn't have that like leader mentality of like telling people. Like, he's just like, okay, I'm still going to do things my way. And I guess I'm just the leader while I'm at it.
Listen, I have so many faults with this. This is literally the Mike Holloway of Survivor. I didn't ask to be the leader, but yet you're still leading always. Like, if you don't want to be the leader, then stop leading. He does it.
They're just following him.
He does it to himself.
I will say, I also am a huge Jack fan. I love Jack with all my heart. I'm pretty balanced and fair across all the characters on this show, unlike Kevin. So when I have an issue with Jack, I will say it. And this is a huge Jack issue. Jack might not have asked to be leader, but he did accept the role.
Mhm.
And there is no reason. I understand exactly why they are all suspicious of Jack. Because Jack has given them every reason to be suspicious of him. Jack has no reason to be suspicious of them or to not share information. Like, if he didn't want to spread it around, like, fair enough. But you absolutely could loop in someone like Saeed. You could go to your key people, your generals as a leader, and let them know what's happening. Also, I've got to say, I have a big issue with Juliet. I think people are very forgiving of Juliet. I have a huge problem because she says after the medical station, I came to Jack about what they were making me do. This has been a long time now. They weren't making you do anything. You had no. Why do you have any allegiance to the others whatsoever? After all this, so up until the point where a few episodes ago, where she took Son to the station, she was doing all of that for the others. It was only after that she came to Jack. Like, why? You were about to leave the. Why did you leave with them and have any allegiance whatsoever to Ben? You have no reason to. Like, I hate that.
I think that this is all she's known for 3 years, and
Right.
like these
She's
people
better
weren't.
than that.
These people weren't here though. Like, what, 90 days ago? So like, I think that it's more of like, what's the word? The
Stockholm
like,
syndrome.
Thank you. That's how I view Juliet in this moment.
Yeah. I don't know whether to trust her still or not. I was like, oh, okay, they just found out the information, and Juliet like right away was like, oh yeah, just turn the tape over and you'll hear like what I want you to hear. I don't know. Like I just definitely still don't trust her.
I also do have an
That's
issue
fair.
with this scene because I think this is a major continuity error, but we're just going to let it run. But she didn't know what the plan was for her and Jack to build a plan off of because like Locke stole that. So she didn't get to listen to that message from Ben.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I am confused about the like
the timeline of it all. Like,
Right.
you don't know what, like, Ben just told you to mark the tents. You had not heard that yet because Locke stole it to give it to Sawyer. So, like, what are you guys planning?
If I think about it, she knew that this was the general plan, but not the specifics. So this is
the timeline. Yeah,
right. This is the specifics, but she knew that ultimately the plan was they're going to come in, they're going to kidnap the pregnant women. I'm going to have to mark the tents. Like,
she didn't know that Sun was pregnant until she got there. There's no aligning this. This makes zero sense.
There is. Ben, when Ben leaves Juliet with the gas mask, he says, "I'll see you in a week." So she was there. This was happening regardless.
Right.
She was sent to find the pregnant women, but the others were coming one way or the other. So she at least did know the date that the others were going to arrive at the beach, like 100%.
Right. That's right. Like I think that she knew the basic plan, but like this recording gives like specific details about like who to like just mark any woman that could be pregnant. Whereas like she knew that they were like, if the plan is to kidnap the pregnant women, like they know to check Kate because they saw they had we're not going to kink shame, but they're voyeurs and they watched, so they know she could be right. Like son
They
could
know
be her husband's there.
Put a condom machine in the bear cage.
Right.
There's
There's food and water, but there's no condoms. So like
Not the condoms.
and there was no pockets on that dress that they gave her. So
Listen, I love you guys dearly for trying to make this work, but this is also the tape of them playing Juliet saying Quan is pregnant, don't know about Austin. There's no exchange other than that. So like they may have like been like, we'll see you in a week. We're going to figure out if some people are pregnant, but like there has been no communication other than her recording saying, yeah, Quan's knocked up, not sure about Austin yet. I'll get it to you in a week. And then him saying, okay, we won't have time, mark the 10th. There's no communication other, like, it always bugs me about this because I'm like, I love that you guys made this plot and most people just look past this, but like, it is a really bad continuity error.
I don't think it's a huge error. I think it is something that I just give that little explanation and then I don't think about it again.
I love you for that. But anyway, we'll move on. With that being said, we go into a flashback again of Ben running away. Apparently Ben has a thing for like putting and traumatizing bunnies because he decides to turn this fence off and send the bunny over. Thank God the bunny doesn't die. But also, can we talk about the bunny just probably went through like shaken baby syndrome as he's running through the jungle and the bunny is like in the bag.
Right. Ben loves putting a bunny in a little satchel and like, putting it in harm's way.
It's this poor bunny. And like, is it the same bunny? We will never know, but like,
right.
Like, just...
No, of course it's not the same bunny.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have lost just trying to make us think that Juliet has known about this plan all along, but we're drawing the line at the bunny.
I mean,
how long do you think rabbits live?
How long do you think rabbits live? Now, I mean, apparently on the island, some people are ageless.
Just die and now he's alive. Let's not.
Well, and we're gonna get to Richard here shortly. Do you think people are supposed to age normally, not look like they're like 35 forever? So.
Thank you, Jake.
I draw the line of bunnies. Richard, but
listen, maybe rabbits live forever on the island. I don't know.
Maybe.
Anyway, so Ben is out running. He hears some things like it's kind of like the whispers, but not like we know that there's something there, but like it's not anything we've heard before. And I love that Ben decides like I'm in a jungle that I've never been a part of and never like don't know what's out here. But I'm going to go screaming through the jungle, Mom. Like, he's just screaming for anybody that's out here to come and get him because that's what kids do. I love that he is, like, perfectly the child, like, of just, like, I'm trying to find Mom. But, like, let's not go screaming through the creepy woods and jungle that we don't know what's out here. But, lo and behold, runs into Richard with, as Jake pointed out, a very bad wig, but also not aging.
A fun wig.
Sure, tomato, but not aging. He is still the same Richard. That is the Richard that we see today with Ben in his like 40s.
Yeah, I like had to do a double take because like I was looking at the face. I'm like, wait, is that Richard? Because I really didn't recognize him at first because of the wig. Like, but I was just like, it was also like, wait, he's supposed to be older. You know, this is 30 years ago, so.
Yeah, no, it's definitely one of the things that like we now because of this had another question. So thank you, Lost, for that. They're like, we gave you Roger Workman. Let's throw in a question.
Right.
Like, that's it.
This
But
is like a huge one. This is like a complete mind fuck.
Yeah.
How is Richard not aging?
100%. But with that, we're not going to answer it for Jake. We'll answer it in the spoiler section, so stay tuned. But we get back to them, and they are here. I love that, like, it was kind of like the exorcism of, like, we're here for this shack. Random shack in the middle of nowhere. surrounded by a gunpowder circle, but we're here and you need to turn the flashlight off because Jacob hates technology. And let me light this lantern. We're going to go in and it's a dark, empty shack. There is nothing there. There's some pictures on the wall. There's a rocking chair. There's a table. And Ben starts having a conversation with Air. Like, what? I know damn well we didn't wait all this time to find out who Jacob was, and then there's nobody there. I was pissed.
I do know that I thought this was a performance. I thought Ben was like, I thought there was absolutely no one in the chair, and Ben was acting like someone was in the chair to convince Locke that there was someone. Like, that's what I thought. I was like,
yeah, no, first time watching this, I was pissed. I was like, we have been talking about Jacob, and then there's no Jacob. Like, I was so mad. I was so mad here.
I didn't think he was crazy. I didn't think that he was like talking to a person who wasn't there. I thought he knew there was no one there, and he was just like, "Tee, just kidding, John."
Yeah, I thought
further in the manipulation of Locke.
Yeah,
yeah.
Sure.
Right.
I thought he was just being a manipulative Ben, honestly, and just continuing to spread lies. And so I don't know. I was just I was a little disappointed at first, and then I'm like, okay, but this is Ben's extreme villainy, and how far is he gonna go? So
yeah, no, I mean, this is like but here's the other point too that we got to make, that I'm sure, Michael, I know you want to talk about this for sure, is that we have seen time and time again that Locke is easily manipulated. We've seen it time and time again, and he is over it. He was like, there is nothing there. He like has a full blown like going off on Ben, which I also love that Ben's like, Jacob, stop it. I can't hear Locke. It's so bad. But I
can't hear what he's saying if you're going to keep interrupting.
I know. It's like having an argument with Air. But I do, this is a huge moment for Locke, is that he's finally come to the realization he's grown, maybe because we are about to get some other stuff. But I feel like this is a moment for Locke to be like, I've had enough being manipulated. I've been dealing with this my entire life. I'm now free of the jacket.
Finally, he finally has the realization.
But he finally has the realization, and then
he's wrong.
He's going to be wrong again.
I know. I was trying to let him have the moment, but this is a moment for Locke. I mean, he essentially, all of that manipulation died with his dad, because that was where most of that manipulation came from. So he's also having like a rebirth on this island of like, no, I'm done with this. Again, like I was trying to let him have a little bit of a moment, and then he's going to be wrong. But the reason why he's wrong is he goes to leave, and we hear a very weird, low, help me. And he's like, what did you say? And Ben's like, what? I didn't say anything. And he's like, what'd you say? I know it was you. And he's like I legit didn't say anything. And this is like where this whole thing, and he goes and he's like, yes, you did, like to do the whole cop in the flashlight, like, where were you in the night of this? Like, it's like shines the flashlight and all hell breaks loose. This is straight out of like scary demonic movie. Like, we've got things that are being thrown, we've got fires, we've got random dude as you like peer over and then peer back sitting in the chair. You're like,
I was gonna say, did you notice, Jake, because it is literally like a frame, but Ben grabs the chair and says, Jacob, like, stop.
enough.
And he gets thrown back against the wall, and then when the camera pans from Ben back to the chair, you see someone sitting there.
I did not see that.
It is like literally a frame. I don't know if this is going to work, but I found that this is it.
Yes.
You see this sitting in the chair.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I see a shadow.
I will say, when I first watched this, Michael, I know that you did this too, because you and I feel like we do a lot of. I legit was like, what the f- was that? And I like went back on my TiVo, because TiVo was a thing back then, and I was like rewinding, and then I paused, and I'm like, what is that? Oh my god, there's actually a person in the chair. There's actually a person in the chair.
There.
Yeah.
That's scary. Okay, so then, yeah, Ben isn't making it up.
Yeah, see, now it makes a little bit more sense because you guys didn't see it. But yeah, go back and watch this episode afterward, or even just that like last little bit. But yeah.
That's very, very creepy. I See, and like I've had this question since like Walkabout about like, you know, still wondering what John Locke saw and Walkabout when he's like in the clearing when he's before he brings back the pig. So I'm like, I don't know, like I'm like, you know, clearly it wasn't Jacob, because then he's wondering, he doesn't think Jacob is real. So like I'm curious what John Locke has seen all this time that it just brings up questions.
Something beautiful. That's all we know.
I don't know that photo that you just showed, Michael. I don't know how beautiful that was.
Yeah, that wasn't beautiful. No.
No, it's definitely terrifying. Like,
Yeah.
When I say it's something straight out of like freaking Paranormal Activity movie, this is exactly it. It's like, I'm pretty sure Paranormal Activity took some notes on this exact scene and then created that moment when there's a possession, because this is terrifying. But with that, we have Locke leave the cabin because he is terrified, to which Ben promptly follows no fire that apparently I have to go back and watch myself because Michael said it was out, and comes out with the perfectly fine lantern that never broke, apparently. With that, though, we are going to come to the next morning. They are heading back, and Locke is over Ben. He's like, I'm like done with this, and Ben's still on it. He's like, but what did he say to you? And he's like, he didn't say anything to me. You did. Like, I am all like, I didn't see any of that random stuff that scared me out to the point of me running out of this little tiny shack. And he's like, you're a liar. It's time all of your people know that you're a liar, and I'm going to tell them all. And Ben's like, you're a douche. So we got to go on a field trip. But also, Locke is onto this too. He's like, this is not the way we came. He's like, I know. I have to show you a little like side piece about my life.
It's a special side quest.
It's a special.
Ben does,
field
for
trip.
one brief moment, Ben does tell the truth. He actually does, unprompted, admit to John that he wasn't born on the island. He was lying.
Yeah.
It's quite a rare occurrence for Ben to be like, yeah, I wasn't born here. That was just a lie. I'm going to show you where everything came from.
Yeah, whoopsie. But we get into this moment where he's like Michael just said, let me show you where I came from. And I also love that it's literally this like field trip, because like Locke's like, I don't want to go anywhere with you. Well, you're already on the way, Locke. You have no choice. You're going on this little trip and this little adventure. But Ben says like, he's like, a thing I think is really important, which obviously is going to be the ending here. He's like, something I need to show you. Like, it's not even like, I just watch it. Like, I need to show you this, because like we're gonna find out why because there's gonna be a massive moment here. With that, we go to our last flashback. Ben is now older. He is now a workman himself. Yay for Ben.
He's Ben Workman.
Ben Workman.
Following
How far
his
he's come.
footsteps.
Look how far he's come. But he is living in Daddy's shadow. They are now working together. He brings out a box of things that they're going to be traveling. And poor Ben. He's like, it's my birthday today. Like, poor Ben. And he's like, I don't know why I ever think that you're going to remember or care to remember. And he's like, yeah, I know. I suck as a dad, and I'm sorry. Like, what if we just like, let's like do what we need to do, and then you and I will go like hang out and like have some like daddy son time. And then Ben's like, I'd love that. I'd love for you not to be a jerk of a dad for my entire life. This one moment is totally going to make up for that. So yeah, let's go. Like, it sounds great. With that, we get the moment of the Dharma van driving up with the music that we heard from Trisha Tanaka. It's a fun time. And he and his dad are having a little powwow. He opens a beer. Happy birthday. Yay for you. And Ben immediately says, like, do you really blame me? Which is like, God, this is still hard. Like, of course this is hurtful and harboring for the rest, like for all of his life. But like, man, it's so sad, like that he's still living with this. And like his dad that would be the moment that you changed for this dad-son time to be like, no, I was just an asshole in that past life. I'm so sorry. I've changed. I love you, son. Like, I'm so sorry.
It's been so long.
He doesn't even have he can't even fix it. He's just like, cheers.
What do I know?
Right. No. But he keeps checking his watch, which is 4:00. We said it was on the numbers. he's like, you got a hot date? Well, no, because Annie's been missing since she made the doll. No idea where the girl's at. But he's like, you know what, Dad? I have put up with a lot of shit from you, and I'm over it. And see you later. Puts on the gas mask and promptly kills his dad. Promptly kills. No remorse. I love that the dad's like reaching for the mask. He's like, psych, no.
Yeah. Well, I also am like, the dad is like, oh yeah, I promise that we'll I'll remember your birthday next year. And Ben's just like, no, I don't think you will.
You'll be dead. You'll be dead.
This is the end of the line.
End of the line. But
I do love that, like, it is the duality of, like, Ben's twisted logic of, this is when Benjamin Linus was born. Like, we see Richard say to him that he has to be very patient, and Ben even says to his dad, doing that required a tremendous amount of patience. This guy has been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Yes.
And killing his dad is when he became Benjamin Linus. So telling Locke, you know, if you want to join us here, you need to kill your dad. It's a personal thing to Ben. This is like, you need to get rid of that thing that is holding you back, or you'll never be what I am. Like, he's such a complex guy. It's messed up as hell. But, like, in his mind, that is when he got rid of everything that was making him timid, making him weak, making him the person that he was his entire life. And now he's the leader of the others. Now he's the top guy on the island behind Jacob. Like, yeah. It's so complicated. It's so complex. I love it so much.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, also, like, this is the main moment. And I know that, like, Jake, I'm assuming you had the same questions that I did at the end of this episode, but he comes out and comes back to the barracks, if you will, and everybody's dead. So they're all on the ground. This is the purge that Mikhail did talk about here. So I don't know if you made that connection, but this is the purge of Dharma Initiative. They all come out and they all have their gas masks on. Richard's the first one because obviously he is the leader at this point. Takes it off first. I always had the question of, like, how did Ben end up going above Richard? Like, yeah,
that is,
like, obviously Richard was somewhat the leader at this point.
Right. Yeah, I was wondering that too, because it's like, yeah, Ben obviously wasn't the first one here, as he has been claiming. So I don't know, that's interesting, because like now I'm wondering if, like, we're going to get even more about Richard. And like, what if he has some sort of plan with Ben underlying, and there's going to be some sort of like overthrow at some point. So that is interesting. And yeah, I mean, I do that. It does line up that, yeah, Dharma got wiped out by, you know, the others who were living here, and
the hostiles.
And they just took their
others, the OG others,
and they just took their little town, the barracks. So, yeah.
Well, where did all the bodies go, you ask? We're gonna show you, because we come out of the flashback and we go to this mass grave here. I also would like to point out, and this is not something I'm assuming Michael and Kevin know this, but maybe you guys don't. But there is a skeleton that has 2 gunshots. Jaw.
Yes.
Michael, did you not know that?
I don't know if I've noticed it, no.
Yeah, it's like...
Well, he lands right next to one of them.
Yeah.
I was too busy focused on what the hell's happening to John Locke right now.
Well, let's get
there's definitely a skull with a
yes,
bullet.
Very clear bullet shot, yes. And then it seems like just down, it's like here too in the jaw. So like the dude got shot twice in the head, but I mean, people could argue that wasn't another bullet. It's just the one. Anyway, moving on. And so he's like, this is where I came from, the Dharma Initiative. And he has a little message for Lockie Poo. And he's like, what did Jacob say to you? And he's like, listen, it was you. Like, we've been through all this. And all of a sudden he's like, listen, I had to do whatever it takes to not end up in there, unlike you. And
I love what a piece of shit Ben is. The fact that he says, like, he knows he's about to shoot him, and he says, "I did whatever it takes to make sure that I didn't end up in that ditch," which makes me considerably smarter than you, John. And I love that John actually gets his gun out. Like, John does realize, oh shit, this isn't good. He turns around to shoot Ben, but Ben has the draw on him.
yeah, and Ben does shoot him, and Locke ends up in this mass grave. And he's like, I'm gonna ask you one more time. What the hell did Jacob say to you? And Locke's like, help me? And he's like, John, like, I am so sick of your shit. What the hell did Jacob say to you? And
Don't make me ask you again.
and Locke is like, wait, stop. He said help me. And he's like, sure hope he can help you now. See you later. Peace out. End of Lost.
Yeah.
Crazy.
The look on Ben's face, though, when he learns that what Jacob said was help me, he is like, shit. Like,
Shit.
why is he asking Locke for help?
This is just odd. Yeah, I legit have no idea.
Listen, Jake, this was us like 18 years ago, as Kevin pointed out, of us being like, what? Thank you, Lost, for giving us like 2 questions answered, and now you just introduced us to 100. So thank you.
Right.
Yeah, back when I was 10 years old, I had no idea even any of this was a thing.
Yeah, that's depressing.
But also, like,
Heinous behavior.
doesn't Ben even say something about like how little Jacob talks? Like, Jacob doesn't talk to anyone. So, like, doesn't he say something like that too? So,
I mean, in
So,
all
like,
fairness,
He only talks to Ben. Ben
Right.
is the only. He doesn't talk to Richard. He doesn't talk to Tom. He talks to me.
right. I mean, but in all fairness, he didn't say much to John either.
but like, because like when he's in the chair, when Ben is like shaking the chair, he's like, "You've had your fun," right? Like, I would presume at that point that Jacob is not speaking to Ben. Jacob's just like doing the things, right? So like, it seems like Jacob probably doesn't even say much to Ben. So like, for him to say to someone else, "Help me," oh, Ben must be pissed.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Him and
Ben's already nervous about this guy. Like,
Yeah.
he's already scared that this is the guy that's going to come and overthrow me. But now also Jacob is talking to him. Like that is the moment he decides, like, Locke's got to go.
Right. But I love that Kevin's like, Jacob's not really talking to Ben either. They just had a full-on fight where he couldn't hear John because Jacob was over-talking and interrupting.
But like, that's not substantive. Like, it's not like he's revealing a lot within that conversation. He's just telling Ben,
Yes, I know.
"You're annoying me. Why are you here?"
Why are you here? Disturbing my slumber.
Oh, the other thing that I wanted to say before too about Ben being the leader is that, like, from what we've seen, Richard is not like outgoingly leader, right? Like, we saw him give the file to Locke, right? Like, he does have like high, and like we see in this one that he's like, it's going to take patience. He is like but he doesn't seem to be like a like boss everyone around type of leader. So I can't help but wonder if it was a little bit like Ben comes in and he's like, "Oh, I can take over." So now adding that, like, I worked so hard to take over this group, and this man's just gonna land on the island and take it from me? No.
Yeah.
Because he's special.
He's special.
Oh my gosh, they're all special.
Special island boy.
They're
But
all special. As we just saw, Richard doesn't age. He's special too. They're all special.
so with
Not
that,
all of them.
in our very long that's still not over podcast day, because we expected it because this is a crazy episode, we finally ended it. So let's get to favorite, least favorite, and rankings, which I have a feeling this will be pretty high.
Oh yeah. So favorite and least favorite character, least favorite. Obviously it's gotta be Roger Workman. Another horrible parent. So again, we could do a Brant Steele of lost characters and their parents. Yeah, blood versus water. And then favorite. Oh boy. This is actually very, very tough. I think just because we got to see who Ben was from the beginning, I think I'll go Ben. Just because I think, again, you dive more into who he is and his backstory finally. So
Yeah, I mean, Roger Workman, rotten hell. It's so funny that like he is just a joke in Trisha Tanaka. Like they are like passing as it's like Weekend at Bernie's with Roger Workman.
Yes.
Like
yes,
and
With the skeleton.
then we learn that it's Ben's dad, and it's like, oh yeah, fuck Roger Workman. Yeah, terrible. Deserved what was coming to him. And yeah, even though he shoots John Locke, Benjamin Linus is my favorite TV character of all time. Like, he is incredible. And the fact that we can get even a degree of sympathy for Ben is such a great achievement from the writing and the performances in this episode. Like, he has been our main villain for a long time now, and you come out of this being like, no wonder he's fucked up. Like, no wonder he's the way that he is. Like, it's such a good episode, and finally seeing the Dharma Initiative during their heyday, and yeah, Ben's backstory. Like, this is Ben's episode, and he's just the best.
I mean, yes, agree on all fronts that like Roger Workman is terrible. To say you killed your mom is just, it's unforgivable. It's terrible. Yeah. Like, he was a baby, and like he didn't do it, and you're putting this on this child. It's terrible. And not only because he shot John Locke. No, but it's just like his facial reactions during the right, like when Locke says we're going to see Jacob, in his face, laugh out loud. It's amazing. So all around, great character. Is he a good guy? No. But is he very interesting and entertaining? Yes, he is.
All right. Well, you guys already picked the ones that I would have picked, and like just to keep it fun and fresh, I'm going to pick 2 new ones. I mean,
tell us why you hate Kate.
Listen, as much as I want to make Sawyer my favorite character again, I can't do it because he's there for like 2 seconds. I'm gonna go with my least favorite. I'll come back to that one. Favorite character, Annie, because Annie is like legit. She's sweet. She's making things for Ben when nobody gives a shit about Ben. Love her for it. I think it's adorable. And so I'm going to go with Annie. And my least favorite character, I'm like debating between this one. Are
you trying to choose between Jack and Juliet?
No, I would never make Juliet. Absolutely not. Jack. You know what? I wasn't considering Jack. Now maybe I should, because I don't get those moments a lot. No, I mean I'm gonna go with Horace, because Horace is trying to seduce little kids. It's not okay. I cannot do it. So Horace, yeah, fuck you.
Right.
That's not what Horace is doing.
Horace,
that is not what Horace is doing.
Right.
Definitely what Horace was doing. Gross.
All right. So yeah, let's get to our episode rankings. All right.
This is tough.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, this is where we stand. Our top 20 overall episodes. I can go down to season 3. So yeah, this should be interesting. I definitely think that for season 3, I mean, I think it's definitely in the top 10.
Oh, God,
yeah. I think I'd put it as my number 3, to be honest.
I forgot how high the brig was. What's the overall?
The overall
Brig is number 3.
Yeah, Brig is number 3 overall. So
I like this one better than the brig.
I like this better than the brig too.
I do too.
Yeah,
I like like I said, like the puzzle pieces coming together, but then more questions.
that is true. Like the Brig is a really good episode as well. So I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to scooching it up.
It's the reveal of the Brig that I think I get why it is that, like, you know what I mean? I mean, Jake, if you made it your 3 and we were all thinking it's higher than the Brig, then that puts it at like number 2. So
well, hold on. So that would be it'd be 1.5. So yeah.
Yeah, the new number 2.
We have like
so 3 plus 1, that's 6 divided by 4 is 1.5, right? Yeah, 1.5.
Yeah.
we have like the reveal of like Richard being ages. We have seeing Dharma Initiative. We have Ben's backstory. We have Jacob. Like this is again. I mean, I just keep going over the same points. This is so lore heavy. This is such an important episode. Like, and Ben's my favorite character, so it's like, man, this episode's so good. I love it so much.
Yeah,
like, to me, it continues everything that the Brig, like Locke going back with his dad. This is the payoff to all of that.
Yeah.
I'd put it number 1 for season 3.
Yeah, I'm okay doing that at this point. Like I think it's close between the two for me, but I'm
I think
good
it's
with
definitely better than the man from Tallahassee.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what if we averaged it would be the new number 2, but
yeah.
do we find it enough to put it as number 1?
That's the tough part. Yeah, I knew it was gonna be in the top 3, so like yeah, I can see it better as Man from Tallahassee at least. So it's definitely 1 or 2.
I'm with Michael. I personally think this should be number 1. I mean, the Brig does have the huge reveal of like Sawyer is Anthony Cooper and all those things, but like this, we get so much. We get Dharma, which we've been looking forward to for 3 seasons. We've got freaking,
Yes.
you know what I mean? There's just so Jacob that they've mentioned. We're getting into Ben. I just think that this gives us so much information that I personally agree with Michael that it should be number 1.
Okay. Yeah.
You say you agree with Michael as if I didn't also say number 1.
I actually wasn't paying attention when you talk at all. So,
all right, let's go for it. So,
While that happens, I just want to point out a fun fact that I just remembered. So Terry O'Quinn won an Emmy for The Man from Tallahassee.
oh wow,
makes sense.
yeah,
I mean,
and Michael Emerson was also nominated, and yeah, Terry O'Quinn won the Emmy that year.
So this is the new number 3 on overall.
yep. Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
Oh
All
no,
right.
Trisha Tanaka's
I
out.
told you the back half of this season picks up like crazy.
Oh yeah,
Trisha
So
Tanaka.
many episodes.
so
bye, Trisha.
Trisha Tanaka and White Rabbit are both out.
Trisha Tanaka.
They're both out?
Sorry, Michael.
Yeah, because Trisha Tanaka was out technically last week.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm glad White Rabbit got to stay in the sun again. It's fine.
yeah.
But how funny is
So
it?
many
Trisha
good episodes
Tanaka-
of Lost.
How exciting that Trisha Tanaka is gone.
Trisha Tanaka gets knocked out in the episode where we find out what happened in that episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that is the man behind the curtain. Once again, subscribe, like, share, comment. I'll be very interested to see what happens with John Locke literally having more than 1 foot in the grave. His whole body's in the grave. So we'll kind of see what happens. I'm thinking that he will probably be fine. Like, I'm honestly thinking this is not the way that they kill John Locke off, but
Oh no.
Little do you know that Michael comes back next episode in his suit.
yeah, the
Shannon funeral suit.
but yeah, I'll let you guys get to your spoiler section, which I'm sure is going to be huge. So everybody who wants to be spoiled or has seen Lost in its entirety, stick around, and we will see you all next time on the Tribe of Nerds.
Pew pew.
Hello, everyone. We are here for the Tribe of Nerds After Jake spoiler section of Lost, and we spoil everything for the entire show. So if you've not seen it in its entirety, go away. This is already like an hour and a half podcast, and we don't have time for you to dilly-dally, so let's go because we have a lot to talk about. Goodbye. And if you're still here, sucks to be you. All right, let's spoil away.
Yeah, this is a big one. Like, honestly, I think this is, we briefly kind of hit on it, that this really does propel us into the second half of this show.
Yes.
This is huge.
Yeah. No, this is I feel like this is 100% the catalyst, like most definitely of like not it's like an accumulation of like wrapping up our first 3 seasons, like because we're getting some answers, but then like throwing in a bunch of questions that are somewhat going to get answered in the last part of it too. So
we are not going to be doing flashbacks on what the survivors were doing before they got to the island.
Not anymore.
That part of the show is over.
That's a thing of the past now. Well, minus one more.
Yeah.
But like, where do we want to start? Because there's a lot in here. I mean, I want to immediately start because I had 2 questions that you guys told me you were going to spoil for me. So I need those answered, but we could start with something else first if you want to.
Let's pull that thread back to finish that off. So the questions you had were the earthquake and Annie, right?
Yes.
So I will say the earthquake is something that I just didn't want to, I probably could have said it while Jake was there, but it does connect to the end of the show. So the moment in that classroom where they talk about the volcano, that was them setting up the final episode of the show. So what we end up getting with the light, the source of the island, that was in the initial plans supposed to be around the volcano. And as the island is being destroyed in the final episode, it was supposed to be the volcano finally going off. So they were setting up that there's a volcano on the island, Chekhov's gun, it's going to be a thing. Budget reasons mean on a TV show, having a volcano erupt and it looking somewhat decent is quite expensive. So they eventually got rid of the volcano idea. But the idea was that there is this rumbling volcano on the island that is at any point going to explode. So my read of that has always been, hey, the volcanoes are rumbling.
Gotcha.
And on the Annie thing, so this isn't something that's explicitly said because we know they never come back to the Annie storyline. To me, it's always made sense that we are going to end up flashing through time and we're going to end up in 1977. And they're going to convince the Dharma Initiative that the women and children need to leave the island in 1977 because the incident is going to destroy the island. We see them all getting on subs. My theory has always been Annie leaves the island during the evacuation before the incident in 77.
That would make sense. That would make sense. I could see that for sure. Yeah, I know that I know that a couple of people like their theories was that like she was on the ground when he showed back up, but I'm like we would never know like what she looked like as an adult, so like that you're just pulling at like any blonde girl that's on the ground right now. So like
there was also a real fan theory that Charlotte was going to be Annie grown up.
Yeah,
I remember that being a real fan theory. But
I do remember that being a theory.
The other
Even I
theory
heard that,
that
and I was not doing all that.
Yeah.
Right.
The other theory that people have is that she died in the Purge, but as bad as Ben is, I do not believe that Ben at that point would have agreed to allow Annie to be killed. My fan theory is, or my headcanon has always been that she's long gone by that point. He's hanging on to the past, and like she's off in the real world having a normal life.
Gotcha. That would make sense because yeah, I never thought that Ben would kill her either, but I was just like, she's always been around for his birthday. Like we see her give him the gift, and then she never shows back up, like ever. And I'm like, they made too big of a deal to bring this poor Annie girl in, and then she's never seen again. It's just really messed up. Really messed up.
Does she not appear in his other flashback?
No, never again. That is one of the things that they've talked about. They did plan on doing something more with Annie, and then they started going into, obviously the writer's strike in series 4 happened, and then they're on the push towards the end. It's just one of those things they never got back around to.
Yeah.
And like, I can accept my headcanon theory of it makes sense that that's where she went.
No, and it does. It makes sense too. Yeah. No, I agree with that. I just there are certain things that it's like Lost, like they never talk about, like that where you're like, oh, by the end of this, we're gonna get these things answered. That is like one thing that they never answer. It's like, you made such a big deal about this freaking girl. Like, she shows up right away giving like the candy bar. She's making presents for poor Ben. Like, and then she's just gone. It's so messed up. Poor Annie. Justice for Annie. All right, I'm throwing that out there. Anyway, let's get into some really big things.
You could say, Annie, are you okay?
Annie, are you okay? Michael and I are always pissing Kevin off some way.
No, I love a good dad joke pun. It's fine.
That's what I do.
It's fine. But we have some like major things to spoil here. Richard is one that I want to get into because like, this is like where all of us sat there going like, he's not aging. What the hell? But we don't get anything until season 6. Like, what? It's kind of like the Ben of it all, or like Michael, it took us like 4 episodes to figure that out. Then we had like all these, like Roger Workman we got like earlier on this season, but like this was a long time that we had to wait for Richard. But who wants to spoil Richard?
Haven't we talked about Richard before?
Yes, but I mean like why he's not aging.
Because Jacob made him not age.
Okay. All right. I thought you were going to go like more fun into that, but okay. Sorry, spoiler section. Kevin.
Oh yeah, I was keeping you, Kevin.
I'm like, what more?
I mean, I thought you were going to be more like we know about the ship that he came over in. Yes, that's how we talked about Richard, but like there was more to it. But I guess Kevin's going to make you wait like the rest of the fucking asshole. Like, I guess this isn't a spoiler section.
We've talked about so many of it. I'm like, I don't know. What else have we not talked about before?
Never mind. Kevin sucks.
He came on the slave ship. He was tormented by the man in black.
This is
speaking of Jacob. So another thing we're going to learn from this episode is that Ben is indeed full of shit. Ben has never met Jacob.
Mm-mm.
Ben was as surprised as Locke was that it all kicked off in that cabin.
Yeah. No, I think that this is like they make it like they do a really good job of like of Ben maybe knowing this stuff, but like that is not Jacob in there, and Jacob never talked to Ben.
But
like,
does
it makes more sense of why Ben is so, like, what did he say to you? Because I've actually never talked to him. Yes, Kevin.
Okay, because I haven't
now
watched
you want
this
included
times. Because I haven't watched this a ton of times. So what does Ben know and not know? Like, does he know that is not Jacob? Does he like? I've always been like, I don't know.
I've always thought, and like Michael, you can correct me if you're wrong, because like, or I'm wrong about this, because I know you will. I've always taken that he has been talking to the Men in Black forever, and
that's what I have thought.
Convinced him that he's Jacob.
Ben had no idea that anyone was. So this is getting into the deep lore of Lost, because this is a lot of stuff that does not get answered, but it's kind of what has been confirmed as canon and what has come to light. So the ash circle that protects the cabin from the Man in Black entering it, we see that in LAX, the season 6 premiere, where he can't get through the ash. It's like the prototype of the barrier around the barracks. That ash was at some point broken, and the Man in Black hijacked the cabin from Jacob and has been hiding in there. Ben has never spoken to Jacob or the Man in Black. He just, this is where you go to speak to Jacob, is what he thought. So in that moment, he's not had any like. So he's never talked to anyone.
Well,
no,
so go ahead, Michael.
He says to Locke, like, it's not as like I was as surprised as you were when things started flying around the cabin. Actually, he doesn't say it to Locke. He says it to the Man in Black, pretending to be Locke. But
Right.
So it's even funnier when you rewatch this episode when you know that Ben was going out there with the intention of trying to embarrass
Bullshitting.
Locke. Like, you
Yeah.
can't see Jacob. And the
Right.
look on Ben's face of like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. No,
What is going on here?
especially when he like goes to this is the part where I always was like, Ben is actually he's never seen anything. Like for years, like I always envisioned that he was talking to, like, granted not my first watch because I thought he was talking to Jacob, but like after like getting to the end of the series and stuff for a long time, I did believe that he was talking to the Men in Black because we know the Men in Black likes to like screw with people. But I always it was like I don't know, on my 500th rewatch, whatever it was, it finally clicked in my head when he gets kicked, like when he goes up to the chair and he's like, "You've had your fun," and he gets like kicked or punched or knocked the fuck to the wall. His face is like, what just happened to me? Like,
Wait, what?
it was like after I don't remember what rewatch it was, but I finally like honed in on his face where he was like, something just threw me against a wall. What was that? It was like he was shocked.
If I'm wrong,
he
correct me in
says-
the
when he
comments.
turns-
Make sure there's like a bunch of spoilers, but like maybe I'm misremembering this as well. But like, yeah, my thought was that he has no idea in this moment, and he is like, the fuck, because Ben, that is the biggest kind of hurdle in Ben's life of he's never had any communication. So my logic is that if the Man in Black was speaking to Ben, pretending to be Jacob, Ben wouldn't have the thought in his mind that Jacob's never spoken to him, because he would have
Right.
completely believed that the Man in Black was Jacob.
Right.
So
No,
to me,
I
it makes
agree
sense
with
that he's had no communication.
I agree with you because of the fact of like Ben is like he is like Locke calling him out 100% of saying like you're the man behind the curtain. He's like, shit, he is at like now I have to really put on a good act up in here in this like shack, because I think that that's his like go-to of like, don't blame me like that you can't leave the island. Jacob wants you. Like, I went to the shack and talked to like he actually has never seen or talked to anything. And like I said, it took me a lot of times to finally watch Ben's face when he does get knocked into the wall, but that's what convinced me to agree with you, Michael.
But then why does he grab the chair and say, "You've had your fun"? Like,
I think this is him playing this off.
And also, like, let's be honest, we all love the show, but at this point, they hadn't entirely decided on what was happening.
All right.
Yeah,
fair.
like, I think we can with context clues put together what was happening, but in that moment, Michael Emerson and in the script, they hadn't reached the conclusion of that yet.
Right.
So, like, there is a moment that bugs me where Locke turns the flashlight around and Ben's like, it's like, Ben, like, why would Ben be so scared? Like, none of that makes sense. He doesn't expect anything to happen, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I think again, this is his like play on like I can manipulate Locke. It's been done many a times. Like, oh my God, you brought out the technology after I told you not to. But then like shit starts flying around the room, and he's like, wait. What? I didn't like pay anybody to rig this place. Like he's like, what's happening here? So that's kind of where I it took me a couple of rewatches, but I that's where I'm currently landed on, Michael, to agree with you. That like up until he got thrown into the wall, he had zero idea any of that was happening.
Can we also talk about
I have no reason not to believe that.
We also talk about the fact that like they do set you up to believe that, like you said, Ben kind of takes over leadership of the others from Richard, but in fact, we learn that like Richard is in fact this like consigliere to go down the Godfather route of like he's never quite the leader. He's the guy that's behind the leader pushing things. So during that time of the Purge, we now know that Charles Widmore was the leader of the others. It was Charles Widmore that orchestrated the purge of the others, and Richard's just like his little go-to guy to get things
right.
done.
Yeah,
Richard's whole thing is always being like,
yeah, he's also not the leader.
yeah, Richard's not the leader. Richard is like an island person. He's not a leader of the others person.
Yeah. What else do we want to spoil?
Locke will survive.
Aw, yay
Locke will
for
survive.
yay for Kevin.
He'll survive this one. He doesn't survive till the end of the series.
But yeah, no, but why does Locke survive? We get a face that is not new, but was very new to us because they aged a lot.
Call a ghost Walt.
Taller ghost Walt.
Don't they try to shoot it too, like from the ditch, so like you're looking up and like you only see like part of his body to like try to hide it as much as possible.
They try, and then but it makes him look even taller than what
Yeah,
he
see, no, I think the opposite. I think they
Yeah.
tried to accentuate, like they shoot it from below, so he looks like a damn giant. Like they make it even
I
more
thought
crazy.
I thought they purposely like filmed it so that like we would think he's taller because you're looking up at him, but he's still Walt, right? Because the child
like,
actor is now a human man.
It's not even the height. He's like a full.
He's an adult
man. Like,
Can I just,
oh my
like,
god!
Hollywood.
I mean,
Hollywood.
this is why Walt got written out of the show and this is why we don't like you cast babies or like teenagers because like teenagers will pretty much like yes they might look a little older but they're like there but like. Well, you can't cast a 10-year-old
Right.
for a show that's going to last years and hope to God that 10-year-old doesn't age when it's only supposed to be 90 days on the island. Like, this is why Walt got written out of the show.
Right. Like Hollywood, please stop casting child actors with tall parents because what happens is they grow up suddenly and now the show doesn't make sense.
But again, it's still not the height. It's like he has a full-on man face. He's like,
Listen, they could do makeup
like
with that.
his voice has changed. He's like, get up, John. Like this like full-on man voice. It's not like kid voice.
They're just hoping that you haven't seen him in like 2 whole
Quite
seasons.
some time.
So you'll forget what his voice used to sound like.
Good old Walt. Good old Walt. But yes, no, Locke does survive and survives long enough to cause some chaos and some havoc with some knives and his, amazing throwing, and all kinds of like not greatness. So it'll be a good time. It'll be a fun, grand old time here with Locke when he gets out of this mass grave. But yeah. And we're also not done with the Dharma Initiative. This was like a little piece into the Dharma Initiative, which we will get some more flashbacks of, but also them actually living it.
Yeah. Not flashbacks, that we will get this is their present.
It's their present. It's their present. Anything else to add to this very long spoiler / podcast?
I mean,
You'd have
we could
something else,
probably
but I can't remember.
make a whole lot of connections.
There's probably a lot, but I know that if we spoil everything, we won't have anything else to spoil. We can spoil because again, I was duped again thinking that it was at the end of this episode. Apparently it's the next episode. I again thought the end of this episode, which I thought was the end of last episode, and then it's the whole thing when Jack tells them their plan and he's like, we're gonna blow them all to hell because they blew up a bunch of trees that nobody apparently else heard on the island. But
we get the reason Rousseau was going to get the dynamite.
the dynamite,
and-
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I was duped 2 episodes in a row to think that moment was happening, and I'm like waiting for it. I'm like, when are they going to go out to the trees? Apparently, it's the beginning of next episode. Whoops. Anyway,
It'll happen.
it'll happen. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't spoil anything. All the things, and we'll see you next time. If you made it this far, congratulations to you on our probably longest podcast. Yay for you. With that, see you later. Bye.